G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. Today we're looking at a distro called BlankOn. Now BlankOn, I've seen it around here and there, I've seen a couple of reviews before. It is quite a unique desktop in itself. I've been running it for a few days. It's very different. So this is the BlankOn distro. It's Linux, it's based on Debian, and its origin is Indonesia. Is only available for the 64-bit architecture, and the desktop environment is called the Manokwari desktop. So BlankOn 11, S2 Fardani, sorry if I messed your name up. S2 Fardani has announced the release of BlankOn 11, a Debian-based Indonesian distribution with a custom desktop environment called Manokwari, based on GNOME Shell. Codenamed Uluwatu, the new release brings improved hardware support along with a new theme inspired by the colours and culture of the Indonesian island of Bali. Other new features include improved system installer written in HTML5, that's probably why the installer was pretty fancy. JavaScript and Vala with a hard disk partition manager. It's got LibreOffice 6, GNOME 3.26.1, which is a little bit behind, with improvements in network management and new language translation. It's got support for Flatpak, a universal application packaging framework, inclusion of several popular graphics and multimedia applications such as GIMP, Inkscape, EOG, Audacious and VLC, and new documentation available on the project's wiki pages. The support for 32-bit systems has been discontinued in this release. So if you're going to go to their wiki page or any of their pages, it's best you're probably using Google because it's easier to translate. I think there's an extension for Firefox to translate, but a lot of it is in Indonesian. So that's just a little bit about the release. We have a menu here on the left-hand side, which does not open with the super key, as you can see. And you can hear the click there, and then there's another menu on the right hand side. So few options here on this menu, which takes you to the settings application, and depending which one you choose, that's which one it will take you to, but it still opens the main settings. So if we have a look at background, we're still within the main setting application there. So I might actually change that background to something just a little bit more bearable. Let's try that. It's not too bad. So what have I noticed? Things I've seen. Okay, I quite like this menu, it's not bad. Now the other thing that I've noticed is when you got, if I open Firefox for example, now I'm trying to show desktop, there is a show desktop here, you got workspaces and show desktop down the bottom there. That's a little bit different, but that's the only show workspace or show desktop I've noticed on here. There might be one within the menu which is searchable, so we'll have a look for desktop. No, it's not there. So now at the top all your open apps show up here. So whichever one you want to choose highlights. You don't actually go down to that. Once you move away from the icon, that closes, so you just click on that. There's no active desktop on here, so if you right click, there's no active desktop at all. We do have settings down here, tweaks, which I can't remember whether I installed the tweaks or whether it was actually installed in there. So we'll just have a look at the file manager for starters. Now there's no drag up the top there, let's double click. So we have our folders there, and it has if we have a look at the settings itself and the appearance, it's got a thing called Bromo, and the icons are Tebu flat. And just talking about the non-active desktop now, this thing down the bottom, although it looks like a dock, it's actually not a dock. If we go to, so I keep opening this file manager, I keep forgetting the files are open up the top here, so we'll close a couple of those. Okay. So if we go to home and we go to desktop, little dot desktop text documents. So if we open this with another program text editor, and this is the little text document that shows up on that. Now you can't go to the bottom and open up that doc because it's not really a doc. It's tied into the desktop itself. So it's a .desktop shortcut or launcher. Now if we was to, let's just see if we drop that down, if we was to move all these to trash, for example, move to trash, that's gone. So basically it's made a .desktop file for the shortcuts. Now if we go back to trash and click on all those, just let me sort those out as well, and restore, and they're all back again. So it's actually just putting that little .desktop file on the within the desktop folder, and it ties them into this dock looking area here. So the only way you can get to that is to go back to the desktop. Unlike having a dock itself where you can drag the mouse down and highlight the dock while you've got other things open. So I find that just a little bit frustrating there. So if, for example, we want to add something to this dock or desktop dock down the bottom here, if we was to right click on this, we could add to desktop. That already exists, so that's a bad example. Let's go to System Tools. System Monitor is not in there, no. So if we right click on System Monitor, add to desktop, click on that, and there we go. And what that's done is added a System Monitor.desktop file. Be there somewhere. Org System Monitor, there it is, GNOME System Monitor Desktop. So that's a little bit different, and I believe that's the only way you can sort of add your shortcuts. I don't know if we can, I don't believe we can do anything with these ones. Can't, that just gives you the Windows options on those icons, but it doesn't allow you to sort of pin them there or anything like that. So that's just basically all your open all your open apps at the moment is currently running on there. So you've got your calendar up top there. So just having a look through here, I'll just have a quick look. Accessories, I won't go through them all. You can pause the video if you want and check them out. Games, it's got a educational games. Now actually under education we've got these recipes, which is quite interesting. I was going through these, and my recipes, favorites, all recipes, you can go through those. They've got the recipes in there, so that's quite interesting. So if you like to do a little bit of cooking, you might want to have a look at that. Got some not bad recipes in there too, I must say. Anyway, back to the menu. What we're up to: games and graphics, internet, full office program. I installed Simple Screen Recorder. I'm not sure if I installed, what do I do there? Sound and video, science, system tools, preferences. I'm not sure if I installed tweak tools or not, I can't remember now. And Synaptic Package Manager, I don't think I installed that. And you got your settings down there, and also your locations, which is your home folders, so that's quite handy. And also under that you've got bookmarks, so I don't know, that would be actually if you add something, if you added bookmarks to here, I believe. So if we was to go to documents, if I created another folder called test, for example, and if it's got a bookmarks option, no it doesn't. And if we drag and drop maybe, there we go, new bookmark. Alright, so let's just see if test shows up under those bookmarks, locations. No, it's not there. Okay, alright. Sure, no worries. Okay, so this is the settings tool. It's the usual GNOME settings options there, so nothing much different there. System specs there. And in the tweak tool, if we open the tweak, I added some themes, some GTK themes, just to see how it goes with the GTK themes. And if we have a quick look, I've got the Telencron, and they seem to come up quite okay anyway, I must say, so there's no problem there. The Pro Dark, which looks pretty good. Let's move them over. It's got some nice shadows happening there, so it's pretty cool. Orangini looks quite okay. These themes are quite nice, these new themes that they've got going at the moment. And Arangan, which is the orange variant of the other blue one, which is the Telencron. And I have got some icons, but the problem with the icons I find is if I change them, they don't change. So I might go with the Pro Dark for now. Now, the icons don't change. I need to log in and log back out. The Alt F2, if I press Alt F2, I don't get a run command. So there are some shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts that are actually working. So if I press the super key and the right arrow, the left arrow, the down arrow, the up arrow, back down again, right and left. So that's working. But for some reason the Alt F2 is not working, so I can't restart the shell. So Dark One might know how to do that, because I certainly haven't worked it out. So there's my test folder, but it's not showing up in Bookmarks. So that might be another thing we may need to log out and check. So I might just stop the video there and log out, see how we go. Okay, so I've logged back in and the icons have changed, so they're not looking too badly there. So it looks pretty good. So overall, not a bad looking desktop. Let's have a quick look at this one over here. I've got the weather up there. I don't believe that weather's right, and it's been 9 degrees since I put it on there, so I don't know whether it's refreshing or not refreshing. So if you touch up the top corner or the bottom corner, this thing opens up. You've got your time down the bottom, and if we click on any one of these, date, time, say, for example, then the date, time comes up within your menu. It's a lot easier than trying to find date, time within here. Okay, users. So it's got the usual GNOME stuff in the settings anyway, and you've got your tweak tool there if you need it for changing your themes. So seems to handle the themes pretty well. They seem to be consistent across the board, so no problem there so far. Anyway, I don't know what this thing is. Sound, Wi-Fi, that's my simple screen recorder and date, and or your workspaces. So you also have on here music player controls, shortcuts to the BlankOn website, I would say. What's that one? Yep, Facebook. And then you've got all your other settings, quick settings, shortcut links there as well. So that's pretty handy. I like this menu. It's not a bad desktop, but I just think it lacks a little bit more control around the desktop itself. So it might be still young. So I just thought I'd have a quick look at it. It's not something I'd run on a regular basis unless you had a few more things in place with a bit more control over the desktop itself. So yeah, I just thought it was worth a try. I've been running it for a few days. I've got no problems with it. It just it would take me a little while just to get my workflow onto this one, I think. But overall, it's not too bad at all. So BlankOn, Manokwari desktop environment. If you think it suits or something that would suit you, certainly go and have a look at it. Down here you got restart, shut down, log out, lock screen. So one more thing I'd like to look at is under System Tools is Software. So it looks like your GNOME Software Center. You've got your updates there, installed applications, and software to look around. So overall, not too bad. Not too shabby at all. Few applications to choose from there, so pretty good. So that is the GNOME Software Center. So that's the only place I've found where there's some updates. I haven't found really any other update tool in here, I must say. So that is the Software Center. Okay, so it says that it has support for Flatpak, so we'll just go have a quick look for Flatpak. See what they got there, see whether it has support out of the box. So what can we install? We need to find something worthwhile installing. Let's just do Spotify. I did that the other day on another one. Spotify, install, save file. Alright. So if we go to downloads, if we double click on the Flatpak, that Flatpak file that it downloaded, that should open up in the Software Center and give you the option to install. And there we go, got the option to install. So I won't bother installing that because and I keep forgetting this thing opens new instances instead of going back up the top. So that's another thing. If this thing here is normally a dock, you just click on that and it's already got, it'll be opening the existing open window, just minimize and maximize, but not in this case. It just keeps opening. So I'm not going to install that because that's probably a lengthy install. So let's see if we can find something else that's worthwhile installing. Audacity is always a good one to install. Let's try installing Audacity. So there you go, you got support for Flatpak straight out of the box. So that's installing. So there we have it. We have Audacity installed. Let's just have a quick look for that under sound and video. It's not showing. If we do a search, it'll probably be there. No, it's not. So we'll probably have to log out and log back in. Yes, we may need to do that. Let's just log out and log back in. Okay, so we've logged back in, and let's have a look under sound and video, and we have Audacity there. So we'll just wait for that to launch. Yep, there we go. So we have Audacity fired up on that, which is a Flatpak. Help and about Audacity 2.2.1. Okay. So there you have Audacity Flatpak. So if we go quickly to the software store, which is under System Tools, Software, installed Audacity, and it should tell you somewhere that it's a Flatpak. There it is. The source is from FlatHub. Okay, cool. So if we just take one more look at the Tweaks tool under Windows, there's a couple of things I want to stand out here. You can change your buttons from left buttons on the left or buttons on the right. You got your title bar actions, maximize, minimize, on there and there. Okay. So the Windows action key, you can actually hold the super key and click anywhere in the window and drag your window around. You can change that to Alt. And same thing, so you can drag your windows around. So if I open up another one here and press the Alt button, I can just grab that anywhere after hitting the Alt. Just drag it, instead of having to just choose the title bar, you can grab anywhere. Startup applications, power, keyboard fonts, desktop. The only thing I've seen the desktop do is add the desktop icon in the middle here. So if we turn that on, there's your desktop icon. Turn it off and it's gone. So I think it's only got heaps of room for improvement and to mature, and it'll probably grow this desktop, so it's probably something to keep an eye on in the future anyway, no doubt about it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the BlankOn distro on the Manokwari desktop, and thanks for watching.